Aloha and welcome to the Caring Caregiver Show. I'm your host, Savvy, the founder of Give Me a Break. It's a nonprofit organization that's caring for caregivers, and we are here to bring back the joy of caregiving. And each week, we're here to help you survive. That's right, you're going to survive this journey, and you're going to survive it, and you're going to thrive even after that. And you can check out our website. Oh, gosh, you know what? I'm lacking on the banners here because I was just working on some. There we go. And it's up. You can go to our website at gab808.org or just drop us a text at 808-754-3787. You all know the digits, and get more information because, I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated, and I know you're exhausted, and I know it's hard. I'm a caregiver too. I'm still caregiving. So we get it. We're a community of caregivers that's right here for you. In fact, in our support session last night, our community, we're building a caregiver survival kit. And it was we talked about planning and we did a quick review of all of the items that we're putting. These are non-tangible items that we're putting into our caregiver survival kit. So you really don't want to miss that. Next week, we're going to talk about having a routine and how important that is. And of course, we're sharing stories and sharing knowledge and just having a community. This is your safe space. And that's what we do. Give Me a Break offers this break every week to caregivers in this support group that we have. It's really a session. It's not so much just, trying to get into your head. This is really about a community of caregivers just like you, sharing with one another and providing you that safe place to be able to say and learn and grow and survive in a way that works for you. They're totally free and online. And of course, you can join us anytime. It's on Zoom Tuesday evenings. Oh, get my graphic up. Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. every Tuesday. And you just type in that phone number I gave you. You can sign in. Our Zoom meeting ID needs no password. Anyone can join. It's open to the public. And all you have to do is type in 808-754-3787, and that gets you in. This is, again, it's your safe space and your way to connect with caregivers just like you. Now, of course, if your schedule doesn't allow for you to be able to join us online every Tuesday evening, weekly, there are a lot of other care and support groups and sessions around Hawaii. You can join them in person or online. Some are biweekly, some are monthly, some are bi-monthly, some are, different times of day, different days. And I have a full list for you. If you need that full list, just contact us at info@gab808.org and tell me I need the support group list, and I'll get that to you right away. Just drop me an email, info@gab808.org, and we will get you the complete list of all of the groups available to caregivers here in Hawaii. And that's even Neighbor Island, because you can tune in as well. All right. So that's really what the Caring Caregiver Show is all about. We are here. We are here to connect you with resources. And as you all know, one of those resources is the Giver's Guides magazine. And we'll put that one up right there. Look at that. I'm doing my own tech. I'm so awesome. And our Giver's Guides magazine is a magazine written for caregivers by caregivers. And from a caregiver's point of view, there's really no other publication out there like that. And it's online. So you can look at it on your phone. I apologize for the barking dog. You can look at it online. You can read it on your iPad. You can do whatever you need to do to be able to get that education and to be able to know and learn knowledge about surviving caregiving. So check that out. Go to giversguides.com, subscribe today, and help keep this show running because Giver's Guide sponsors the show. And also all the profits go to Give Me a Break. So you're doing a great thing. Let's get that off of there. Wonderful. So welcome. It is season 11, and we are in episode 4. I am always so humbled how long we've been able to continue to keep our show going. 11 seasons is so much. It's life-changing, and I hear so many wonderful comments. Hold on. I'm sorry. There we go. Whoopsie. I'm back. Sorry. I just got a notification that one of our lives was not going. So again, I'm my own tech person, so I had to go in and take care of that. But I did it, and that's a good thing. Anyway, so awesome to be able to do that. And speaking of life changing, as I had kind of left off there, Sunday, this Sunday coming up, March 3rd, is actually Caregiver Appreciation Day. And so Give Me a Break is going to be treating 10 caregivers to a caregiver pamper kit. Let me show you what that looks like for those of you who are actually watching online. And if you haven't seen our caregiver pamper kit, it's such a wonderful little thing. Your wellness matters and your self-care is so important. We want you to practice that. And so we put together a little kit with all kinds of instructions to help you to know how you can take a moment. You don't have to do them all at once. Maybe one day you can just do one thing and another thing. And it's going to give you all kinds of little instructions on how to self-care and give yourself a little bit of wellness and mindfulness in a moment. So if you want this caregiver kit, all right, ready? Listen up. All you have to do is go to our website, gab808.org. It's that simple, and submit a support request. If you are the first 10 to submit a support request, we'll contact you and mail this kit to you as a gift to you for Caregiver Appreciation Day. So I hope that's something that you all can enjoy, and I would love to treat you to it. Also, speaking of being treated, what we want to do is get on with the show, stop yakking, Savvy, and welcome our wonderful and amazing Audrey. Hi, Audrey.
Aloha, Savvy.
I'm so excited that you're here because I think we all need a breath after all of that. So, so I'm going to turn it over to you for speaking of mindful moments. Here's Audrey.
Oh, Savvy, you're so awesome. You said it yourself. I loved that. I picked up on that. Did you? Savvy just said, I'm awesome. And that is something we don't do enough, is ask for help, receive the help, receive a compliment, give ourselves compliments. So we'll do a little bit of that today, if that's okay with you. So first off, and I have my superhero hoodie because I, like you, am a superhero. Every single one of you is a superhero. So go ahead, close your eyes if you can. Don't if you're driving. Hands to your heart. And if it's comfortable, take your shoes off. Feel the ground under your feet. Take a big breath in through the nose. Fill up the ribs. Fill up the chest. Fill up the shoulders. And exhale through the mouth with a big sigh. It's just you, right? Just make that noise. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale. Into the nose, into the ribs, into the chest, and then big exhale. Release energetically anything that you can, that you want to. Beautiful. If it feels good, keep the eyes closed, keep the hands on your heart. And you might repeat after me, or you might just listen. But today, I would like you to consciously release any energy that you are holding onto that is not yours. Any energy that has stayed attached to you or stuck to you from whatever's happened already in the day or the last few days, let that go. Perhaps eyes closed, imagine that energy, those cells, imagine you can see them lifting off your body and returning to whomever they belong. And once you've done that, stay in the energy, stay in the peace, in the quiet, in the breath. And then you might repeat this, or you might just listen. With the space I have created, I call back to me any energy that I have left behind, that I have left somewhere else. I call it back to me to complete me once more. I feel whole. I want you to say out loud, I am awesome. I want you to say out loud, what I do matters. I matter. I do my very best. Now, in the energy world, heavy, tight Icky, stuck shoulders is going to be because of the weight that you are carrying. I know you are caring for others, and I know that it probably takes up a big part of your day. So energetically, you're going to shimmy your shoulders and let that go, because the work you do matters. And also, it's not your whole identity. So let it go and know that you are doing your best. And one last thing for today, when you're finished shimmying, keep shimmying all day long if you want. Next thing you do, shimmy through it. One more thing, I want you today to accept the next compliment that you are given. A lot of us, when we are told, hey, you look good today, we'll say something like, oh, thanks, I just put makeup on, or oh, thanks, I brushed my hair, or what, this old thing, I thrifted it for $1. Don't do that. You're literally boomeranging away the compliment, the love. It's a small form of support. So next time that you are given a compliment, I want you to notice, and I want you to say thank you. Thank you so much, Savvy, for having me. Thank you. Thank you. Another season of this. I'm so grateful to be here.
I just love you, and you are awesome too.
Yes, I am. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. There you go. I love it. That was amazing. Thank you, Audrey. All right. Oh gosh, I just love this, don't you? And I think, and of course, you all know you can contact Audrey anytime, 808-936-9142, or go on to her website and her Instagram, all right there on the screen. And if you need that information, gosh, contact me. If you don't know how to contact me by now, stand on a mountain and wave. I promise I'll feel your energy. So we'll figure it all out. And thank you so much. That just sets us off at the right tone. And before I get started today, I do want to send out an apology. I owe our support session from last night an apology. I did tell you all that Kathy Wyatt was going to be on from Hale Haole today, and I was a couple weeks early in my thinking. You all know that dementia thing I deal with is always going to be a problem, so I apologize, but stay tuned because today's guests are completely amazing, and I know you're going to love the show. In fact, I know that some of you have voiced this because I know you've always wished that maybe you could get help to check in on your Carrie. And my first guest today, who is, by the way, a true sandwich caregiver, understands it and did something about it. And she started Compassionate Callers. And I'd like to welcome Bina Coleman as well as Stephanie London on the show. So aloha, welcome.
Hi, Savvy. That was awesome. I actually wrote down Audrey's information so I could also follow her and get some.
Yes.
I loved it.
Oh, she's just amazing, isn't she? I know. Well, we all are, right? We are awesome and we rock. And that's what it's all about. That energy just needs to really get out there more and more, and bringing on I really am so excited to have you on today because this is something that I wish I had. And I do this all the time, right? It's what things that I wish I had while I was caregiving or now can use. I really want to connect caregivers to. So tell us, introduce Stephanie as well, but I want you to talk about a little bit about your caregiving story and then tell us about Compassionate Callers and how that came about.
Yeah. So thank you, first of all, to you as well. So my father died 5 years ago. So I was 5 years younger. My children were 5 years younger themselves. And I was a true sandwich generation caregiver, as in I was working full time and I had these little kids I was raising, and we placed my father in a memory care facility. So I was visiting him and felt it all, felt what it was like to be a wife, a mother, working full time. And then, you know, I don't want to use the word obligation, but going to visit him. And I just knew there's nothing to replace it. So I'm not trying to use that word, but I knew there could be another solution, a missing piece to the continuum of care that just really wasn't out there yet. And that's kind of where I came up with Compassionate Callers. So what Compassionate Callers is, it's a service where people can get phone calls up to 5 times a day, 7 days a week. And that would be for medicine reminders, meal reminders, really true companionship if people were feeling lonely. Also, Savvy, like you, like Stephanie, like, we're all working. And what if during those working hours, your mom is lonely or your dad is lonely or a different loved one in your life is lonely? That's when we would step in and take that burden off of your plate. And like I said, we could do that up to 5 times a day, 7 days a week. So fast forward a little bit, and I actually ended up merging Compassionate Callers with Parent Projects. And now it is all under that umbrella. To be very honest to your listeners, we are on pause for Compassionate Callers, but we are planning on bringing it back. So I'll make a big announcement about that, because just like Parent Projects, we really believe in the service and think it will benefit so many. So right now I'm working with Stephanie at Parent Projects, and we are running a service that really is out there to help more sandwich generation caregivers, adult children, as you can call it, or whoever has anyone in that aging loved area that just feels lost or needs guidance or confused on where to start. That's where we kind of come in.
Great. Right. And that's awesome. And I do hope that service comes back, because I think that's an amazing service. And Stephanie, tell us a little bit more about Parent Projects. Oh, I can't hear you. Perhaps you're muted.
I'm so sorry. I was muted.
There you go.
Super excited. I've been a part of Parent.
Yeah, we all do it.
Right? I know, we do. I've been a part of the team for over a year now, and it's a really beautiful, passion-driven company that is here to come alongside the caregivers, the adult children that are beginning to have projects for mom and dad. And we're really building a network of businesses in local areas, so that new dynamic we're really seeing of distance, where we don't live in the same city as mom and dad, and yet we need reliable resources for how do we help mom and dad. And Parent Project is developing that marketplace with trusted vendors. And then just so delighted to have had Bina join the team this year and bring Compassionate Callers concept is coming back alive under Compassionate Concierge, which will be a broader spectrum, can call in for help and assistance in any area that you feel is stuck and are needing support.
I love that. I met a really, and I love that you use the word passion, because that's just my wonderful happy trigger word when it comes to caregiving and everyone that we bring on the show. But I met this wonderful young gentleman, 17-year-old, who had become sort of just got thrown into this caregiving situation. His father up and left, his mom and the 4 kids, and he was the oldest of 4 children. And so he kind of takes care of his mom, who works full time, makes sure that he does everything for her, but he also has to take care of all of his siblings. And he's sort of sandwiched in a very different, unique way, but we're seeing a lot of this more and more. And he was just distraught. And I think that this would be an amazing thing to know that he could just pick up a phone, or, he could get a call from someone that says, hey, how you doing today? And, by the way, this is to remind you that, this is going on. You don't have to worry, and you're not alone. Yeah. And what a wonderful, wonderful concept to merge what you do with Parent Projects and to merge the compassion of having the calls in your business. I think that the two together, you guys are going to just be amazing and help so many people. So yeah, I just love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anything else anything else you want to share with our listeners today on the show, and that we can pass on?
Yeah, I think it's just beneficial if all of your listeners who are caregivers want to visit our website, parentprojects.com. They can get an idea, of what the services we can offer to them are. We have another one called Connect, where I think it's an amazing, amazing platform where all these caregivers, I hope I'm wording this right, Stephanie, but so the caregiver of the loved one could then invite other people who are also in the family to be on the Connect platform. So like Stephanie said, if there's distance or, some people don't get along, and that's life as well, they can all communicate through this platform and know, okay, mom has a dentist appointment on this date. There's a calendar function, and there's
I love that.
And so that's a really nice part of parent projects as well that I think can benefit a lot of caregivers.
Yeah, I really love that. Thanks for mentioning it. We just talked about that in our session, and talking about having family meetings and communicating to get everyone involved. And it's not easy, and they don't get along. And having a central base, I think, is phenomenal. So, what a great service! Not only can you guys get compassionate calls, and you're calling them now again. What was it? The new name is, I don't want to say compassionate callers. It's
Compassionate concierge.
Oh, I love having a private concierge. By the way, caregivers, now that you're a caregiver, you're in the elite crowd. You get your own concierge.
Yes.
So how fun is that? I love that. And another service now too, as well, where your family can all kind of get connected. I don't talk to my so-and-so. I've heard this so many times. Well, here's a great way to still be able to communicate with each other and not always have to get into a situation where you might trigger each other in a conversation. So keeping connected, what a great thing. I love that.
Thank you.
I love it.
And really, Savvy, thank you. I have to tell you real quick, I know you have other talking points, but when my father was going through what we were going through, I did a monthly support group, an online monthly support group, and it completely saved me. So I really appreciate what you're doing for so many others.
Yes, thank you. I heal through the healing of others, right? And we create that environment, that aura, that energy of healing and moving forward and wellness. And that's the most important thing. It's helped me to release a lot of my trauma, and I just love it. And we've gotten really close knit as a group, so much so that whenever anyone new joins in, they immediately become part of our family.
No,
so it is a great thing. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much to both of you. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you jumping on today and sharing that. So you guys contact Bina, B. Coleman, and that's COLMAN, you guys, not an extra E in there because I've done that myself. It's COLMAN at parentprojects.com. And the number to call is 602-529-5850. You can call or text. So those of you listening later on podcast, 602-529-5850. And so again, mahalo so much, and sending you lots and lots of aloha in your day, and keep doing what you're doing and keep your passion strong. Thank you, both of you. Thanks, Stephanie and Bina. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Mahalo. Okay, now you guys got to be patient with me. Okay, there we go. And we moved not just one, but two this time. I got it. Okay. I can do this. Where's my banners? Oh, I lost them. There they are. Boy, Savvy, you're just not hitting on all gears. There, I got it. Okay, so proud. And I lost that again. Sorry, gang. My screen just went nuts. You're along for the ride with me. That's okay. We're doing this together. Wonderful. And, I want to go moving right along. I want to bring on my next guest too. I met this gentleman. I was just kind of drawn to him. I met him at a senior fair, and I had to bring him on the show. And I think that it didn't seem to me at first, but as we started talking, I really felt that this was somebody to see who really recognized the importance of the person who cares, the caregiver, and cares for the caree, but also how both can work together. And I really loved the conversation we had, so much so that I wanted you to meet, and I love your name, and I wanted you to meet Lennon Akasaka. Hi, Lennon of Blue Fitness Hawaii. Welcome. Great to see you again.
How's everybody doing today?
Good. I'm so happy you came on, and I know you yourself have a caregiving story as well, right?
Yes, I do. So, basically, thankfully, my family are all, healthy for now, right? But I'm kind of to go to to start off. I'm a personal trainer who's kind of specializes more in a kupuna fitness as well. So what I do is I help, older folks, able to stand up by themselves, actually kind of, get rid of those walker, right? Or even better, how to, learn how to use the walker properly so they don't compromise their posture, having the risk of falling as well, right? Because one thing I know about walker is they're too good at their job to make him not fall. And then what tends to happen is that you kind of start getting more, not even a lack of better terms, you kind of get spoiled by a walker
Yeah.
and become reliant on it, and your posture gets worse and your walking pattern gets worse. And that's what I'm here to kind of fix as well too, right? But I do have a lot of clients that is over 70, over 80. Even my oldest client that I know of is actually she's turning 97 this year. But yeah, when I first met her, she was very, she was hugging her walker, her posture was all leaned forward and everything. And I'm happy to say, after 2 months of having me and her kind of training, she kind of noticed a difference. She's able to stand up easily. She's able to walk without her walker, and even her family kind of saw, all her caregivers kind of saw all the progression that kind of went through, right? Because
Right.
everybody thought that she's just gonna go downhill. She's gonna keep getting worse. But right now, I would not believe if she told me she's 97.
Amazing. Just amazing. And I see this is the whole thing, right? A lot of times people say, "Oh, you're having somebody that's a fitness trainer on." I don't think that that's going to work. And but this is why I love what you do, because you're focused, and your exercises and everything that you do are focused on the aging. So it's not just the
Right.
aging, but also you and I were talking about how caregivers are exhausted.
Mhm.
Caregivers are ready to drop, right? No sleep, haven't bathed in weeks. Caregivers, it's rough, right? And so then now it's like, okay, now I have to do some training. So if your 97-year-old grandma can do this, then it's something that as a caregiver, if you do it together, that's kind of cool. And we had talked about that. Remember that conversation? And
Yes.
you were talking about you can do exercises. So how would that work?
Yeah, well, basically, right. Well, for this one, if you want to work with your, caregivee, right, or caregivers, right. Again, it really depends on, the ability level of the individuals, right. If you're bedridden, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. But again, one thing that I have to really stress about is that just usually I have my client about once or twice a week, right, and usually that's not enough, right, and it's very important for the caregivers to kind of keep them say, hey, do you do your exercises? Because the research does show that you at the average of after you reach the age of 65 or even younger sometimes, your body actually start to degenerate your muscles very quickly, right? And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people start to lose their balances, start to lose the ability to walk, stand up right there. So that it is very, very important to keep up with the exercise, just to kind of remind your body, say, hey, you see these leg muscles that we have? Yeah, we need that. Right? Because again, our body they hate hoarding, right? They only like, and unfortunately, they actually no. Let me correct that. They like hoarding one thing. Our body likes to hoard fat,
It does.
but the
Doggone it.
thing is, I know. I myself say, why is that? But another thing is that they hate holding on to muscles,
Yeah.
right? Even for me, I'm 28, compared to other people, right? But 2 weeks from now, going to the gym, I lose so much strength, I lose so much muscles, and everything like that. So again, keeping up with the exercise, it's important, right? And again, being able to exercise with your caregivers is a good bonding sessions too, right? So it does, again, I know exercise have this kind of negative connotation of
Right.
it's tiring, I don't have time for this, but well, and a lot of people thinks that you need like 2-3 hours to exercise. Not really. Usually 45 minutes of exercise is fine, right? 1 hour
And doing it together. What a great concept, right? To be able to do
Exactly.
it together and have a happy moment that's going to benefit both of them. And it's
Yes.
easy enough for both to do it together. And I
Mhm.
like that, because sometimes if you think to do that on your own, if you're younger than the one you're caring for, you may not always understand their needs. And somebody who's older exercises may not accommodate what your needs are. And so
Mhm.
you're able to design a program that fits both their needs and
Correct.
still provides them with some kind of exercise stimulation and in a shorter amount of time that they can both take
Yes.
time out for. I love that. I
Yes.
love that. Yes.
Yeah, and then
And
again, just exercise again. It's another bonding method with your
right.
with a,
Yes. Yep. And I'm having a total Kelly Clarkson moment, y'all. But I just turned like 65. And here's Lennon saying, when you turn 65, your body. And I'm going, oh, great. So I'm having
sorry,
this
but it is
y'all
the,
moment.
it is the study that they collect a lot of data. So just like, so again, and one thing that I wanted to mention is that when I first started personal training, I started 6 years ago. This is my 7th year doing personal training. When I first started, I always thought, yeah, it's never too late to exercise. Anybody can exercise. It is true until a certain point. I like, there is a point of no return that exercise can really not do too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
However, that point is a lot farther than we always think, right? Like I said, I have a 97-year-old. I just made her this week. I just made her do a squat with a 10-pound mud ball on her chest because, hey, she just had a great grandkids. And I'm just like, well, you better carry them. So
Wow.
I grabbed a 10-pound ball, gave it to her. Okay, do a squat. And she did it.
That
So,
is
again,
amazing. That is amazing.
and
That
again,
is amazing.
and of course, just with a caregiver's perspective, even if you don't exercise, which you should, but if you're too tired, then fine. But again, just seeing your parents, your dad, your mother, or someone you're carrying, getting better and better, being more conscious, being more balanced. I have another client that she's have a osteopenia, which is kind of a low bone density, right? She broke her bone by just running, and later to learn that she got down on the floor. She never did this for like 15 years or so years. She's just sat down on the floor, played with her puppy, and just got up like it's nothing happened. And then she just realized that about 10 minutes later, I was like, wait, did I just get on the floor and got up? Next, another story, the same person, she actually climbed 12 stories of stairs without any trouble. And
Wow.
again, you really see that, you just by exercise, again, like I said, 45 minutes to an hour. That's all I'm asking, right?
Yep.
That's all.
And even if it doesn't, like you said, even if it's not necessarily that they're doing it together and the caregiver can't find the time for that, having this for your caree allows them to get a better quality of life and gives you that time to kind of take a break away from it, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's a win-win either way. I love that.
Yeah, just imagine, when you're transferring your caregiving from a bed to a wheelchair, right? Now imagine they're helping you, they're standing up with you, although they may be too weak, but they can at least contribute. And trust me, Savvy, that makes a whole lot of difference.
Yeah.
Of them able to just push up with their feet.
Dead weight.
Right?
I had to transfer my mother from everywhere to her wheelchair and back out again. And
that is hard. And I give
difficult.
every caregiver credit, but just by doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So you guys can get in touch with Lennon, just so you know, really quick, 808-646-2583, 808-646-2583. Wait till after the show because I don't want you to miss my next guest. Give him a call or go to bluefitnesshawaii.com. Didn't you say you were going to share something special as well with our listeners?
Yeah, sure. So, I would like to kind of offer you guys, you and your audience, some special offer. So usually I give everybody who's 65 or older about 10% gift, 10% discount, alongside with another additional 10% if you buy the package. But for if you say that, hey, I saw you from your Savvy show, I'm willing to give another 5%. So I will give you a total of 25% off for the first package. So, again, this is exclusive offer only for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. So give me a call and just say, hey,
that rocks.
Savvy. Yeah.
Awesome. Gosh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Lennon. You guys like 25% off. Just say you saw it on the Savvy show or Caring Caregiver show and give him a call. Get in touch with him. I do need to move on, but thank you so much for spending time with us today and out of your busy schedule, and just keep moving, boy. I love it. Thank you so much, Lennon. I'm so happy I met you.
Thank you. Likewise.
Great. Aloha. Wonderful. Mahalo. Bye. Wow, you guys, that's it. This is why we do what we do, right? We want to just really get everyone changed. We want to change. We want to change to the positive. We want to flip that stumbling stone over into a stepping stone and change your caregiving journey to one that's positive. Why not spend more time making memories, right? And then being healthy enough to continue on even after. I'm going to throw my statistic out. I haven't done it yet today, but 50% of all caregivers do not survive the one they're caring for. They pass before the one they're caring for. Hold your breath on that one, you guys. And if you're 70 and older, that statistic jumps up to 70%. And I'm going to keep saying that statistic until we change it, until every day that I go to check that statistic, it goes down. And I want to be announcing on this show every single time that that's gotten lower and lower and lower. And this is one way to do it. Survive your journey. So speaking of that, the other thing I like doing on this show is to have community. I love bringing all kinds of resources to you, but I also love holding hands with other nonprofit organizations. And I just met this amazing soul just the other day, and I had to ask him to come on the show. He is the president and founder of another nonprofit. It's called Malama Pono Nui Loa, and it's right here in Hawaii. And this is another way to help you to thrive. And I really want to welcome my special guest today, Michael. Michael, welcome to the show. Here you go. There, I got it. So thank you so much for jumping on such short notice, but I had to have you come and talk about your nonprofit. But you also have a really amazing caregiving story too, don't you?
I do. Thank you so much for having me today. I appreciate you. And I appreciate all of the wonderful guests that just came on. I was listening to Audrey and I was centering myself and
yes,
stopped drinking my coffee because it's making me a little nervous. But I'm here. Yes. So Malama Pono Nui Loa, that's the 501c3 nonprofit that I co-founded alongside some of my friends and my cousins. And what that means is it means to take care of your eternal light. That's one way of looking at it. A lot of Olelo has, depending on the context, has different interpretations.
Oh gosh, I just went blank for a second, but it could be affected by a lot of other things, even the accent or origin of it, right? Yes. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's beautiful. And that's kind of what it's all about is it's really just authentic expression. And so what I like to do is to create a community in which we can all express ourselves. And one way in which we do that is we Malama Aina, and we come together and we express through art, through laughter, through joy, sometimes through tears, through anger, whatever it is. And so, being fully transparent, Pono, and honest with myself and expressing my nervousness or my grief or whatever it is, I think that's really important for the process, especially in relation to caregiving. So my own journey, I actually grew up in California with my mother. My father, I didn't know him. That was my one kind of connection with him was my name, which is why I include that in the title, Michael Makanani Okalani Nui Loa Ivy. And what that means is the beautiful eyes of heaven live forever, or as my mom would say, the twinkle in your eye sent from Father's sky. And so what I tried to
love that.
Yeah, and what I tried to do when I did community outreach here in Oahu, and I would sit with individuals going through houselessness, and sometimes we call them and we refer to them as homeless, and what they really are is they're just other individuals, they're other people, they're going through different things, but they still are people. And when you can sit with someone and you can look at them in the eye and you see that twinkle that we all share, and you hear their story and you hear their journey, you realize that we all share that. We all share in that experience. We all share in that aloha spirit. Doesn't matter where in the world you're from, everybody can relate to that. And so that's what I try to create. I try to uplift others by uplifting myself and representing myself. And one way that I love to do that is I love to go garden, and I love to go talk story, and I love to go empower other people and inspire other people.
So it's just that getting out too, right? Grounding yourself to the earth, getting out, reconnecting with the earth, reconnecting with people. And I just love that that's this in its simplicity. It's amazing. Right. And there's so much positive energy in that. And I think that's an amazing thing, right? We don't often do that. We walk around with socks and shoes all the time. We don't get our feet on the earth. And I think that's something so important. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, that universal feeling that we can all relate to. And I guess one story that I can share is on our family farm. We have a little lo'i that we've revitalized, and we had two kapuna come there who, they didn't walk very well. They were kind of getting up in age, and they put their feet in the lo'i, and they kind of just felt the mud on their feet, and were instantly transported back into when they were children and just playing in the mud, and they were laughing, and then they were like revitalized. And so it's a wonder to be able to kind of be in that position and offer people that experience.
Yes, we have a natural grounding mat everywhere around us, especially having the honor and privilege to live in Hawaii, where you can just put your feet in the grass and the sand anytime and just be connected. And I really, really love that. And I also wanted to touch on, I think one of the other things when I met you, I was talking about sharing, we were talking about houselessness. And I shared that, I knew of a caregiver and the caree who had become, because 67%, well, I'm sorry, that statistic has now gone up to 70%, by the way, but 70% of caregivers lose their jobs because of their weight of caregiving. And this particular caree, who is a young lady, and her grandmother lost their home, and they were living on a hillside, on part of the island with nowhere else to go. And the grandmother had dementia as well. So if you can just imagine what that's like, trying to care for somebody who's trying to go back home all the time, and they're living on the side of a hill. And so, we need to do something about those kind of things, and people need that help. And so I love that you're reaching out to be able to at least provide a listening ear and hope. And I think that's a wonderful thing to do that.
Yeah.
That certainly is Malama.
And on that note, advocacy. And so I do work with a lot of different caregivers, and I hear their stories and I listen to them. And a lot of the time what happens is they develop their own illnesses because they're putting so much of their heart and soul into that person that they're trying to care for. And so what I really advocate on is that it's really important to fill our cup up first. When you're on the airplane and they talk about taking in oxygen, and they say, put on your mask first before you help someone else. I think it's always really important. And sometimes in caring so deeply for someone else, we don't allow ourselves to receive that love that you were talking about earlier.
Yes.
And so it's really important. Don't let yourself fall into, hardships just because you're trying so hard to care for other people. If you don't fill up your cup, all you're giving is an empty cup to everybody else.
Yep. If something happens to you, then what happens to the ones you care for, right? And if you no longer have the energy for that, there's no one else. What's going to happen? So what you do is really important, yes, but you're important, and your survival and your wellness matter. And I love what Audrey said, because today that is the message. I am awesome. And it is okay to say that, and it is okay to say thank you and accept it. And I think it's time that as caregivers, I always talk about this. I jokingly say that everyone else got to come out. Well, guess what? Caregivers are coming out this year. This is our year to come out. And as caregivers, we are going to come out of the dark. We're going to come out of, isolation. And we're going to stand proud in what we do and who we are, and be able to survive this. So knowing that there are other nonprofit organizations like yours, like Malama Pono Nui Loa, that can help here in Hawaii. Thank you so much for that. Was there anything else you wanted to share so that I don't just cut you off as we end our show today?
No, thank you so much. If you want to reach out, you can call me, or you can email me at mivie@malamaponanuiloa.org. We just recently opened up a community garden over in Vaimanalo, and we would love to have anybody come out.
I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, get dirty, get in the mud, you guys. Let's go play mud. So 949-355-5732, 949-355-5732 is the number to contact Michael and to get muddy. So I love that. Let's get back to the earth. Thank you. Mahalo so much for sharing your heart and coming on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Aloha. Yes. Wonderful. Gosh, I just want to thank all of my guests today. And remind you all that this show is brought to you by Givers. Give Me a Break. It is sponsored by Givers Guides Online Magazine. So please get that subscription. $24.99 goes a long way. It's like $2 a month. It's a 1-year subscription, and it is online. So knowing that you can check and read those articles anytime you need that support, let's keep this show going and keep all things coming to help you caregivers. Because really that's what the Caring Caregiver Show is all about. It's about connecting you to resources and to community. And of course, really for your wellness and survival. Now, next week, I'm going to have Thaddeus Pham on with the Hawaii State Department of Health, and Dr. Monique Nugent is a practicing hospitalist and also the author of A Prescription for Admission. Really good. It's a complete guide that provides critical information that you need to navigate the hospitals and to navigate care homes. Just amazing. You really don't want to miss next week as well. You never want to miss any of our shows. So set a reminder every Wednesday at noon Hawaii Standard Time to dig off on your phone so that you can check it out live, watching on whatever platform you're on now. But know that we stream on 9 different platforms. So we're streaming on about 4 or 5 of them on Facebook alone, LinkedIn, and on YouTube. So check out those lives. Don't miss it. And if you do, that's okay. You can always go on podcast. Each show a week after it goes live will go into podcast on just about every platform out there. Stitcher, Spotify, Google, Apple. It's there. Check it out. Type in Caring Caregiver Show. And if you don't want to do that, just type in the caringcaregivershow.com. And you can go online to the website and you can watch videos and check out the audio as well. We are also now honored and very, very grateful to be on Olelo TV 53. In fact, the schedule will be coming out for our this next month in March, and some new episodes are coming out that you'll be able to watch. So knowing that you can watch our previous episodes on Olelo TV 53 is a wonderful thing. And of course, if you ever want to get connected, join our support sessions. Just go to GAB808.org and just join in. In fact, for those of you who are interested, remember that we will be starting a 2:00 in the afternoon session around the end of March. And so those of you who are in different time zones on the continental US or even other areas in the world will be able to tune in a lot easier for our support sessions. They'll start at 2 p.m. Hawaii time. So check and see what time that will be for you, and know that daylight savings time will be starting pretty soon here too as well. And we're going to be doing that. So you'll have 2 opportunities each week to join in to a session. Anyway, it's been a wonderful show, and my heart to all of you and all of you caregiving, and of course to all of my guests today. In the meantime, we'll see you all next week. And in the meantime, remember to breathe. Just breathe. And hoping that you're finding more joy in caregiving every week right here on the Caring Caregiving Show. Thanks for tuning in, and please remember, always be kind to those who are caring. Aloha, everyone.